everybody. Welcome back to Ignition Point. I'm Debbie Hart.
Sean Finnegan.
And today we have David Osmond.
Everyone knows this face. Everyone's seen this guy.
You know I'm a huge music fan, so it's such a pleasure.
You are, and I'm just learning this about you as well. You have your own classic
She's
rock
a rock
band.
star as well.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
You know, should I say or should I go, surprisingly?
What would be your go-to?
Let's see. I have a big band.
Okay.
Literally, it's called the Osmond Chapman Orchestra, and it is big. It's 16-piece.
Well, you toured with Andrew Lloyd Webber in Joseph and Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Let's not miss that.
He was on American Idol. We watched you in Joseph.
Yeah. I took over that role when I was literally a teenager for my Uncle Donnie in that same production.
You were better than Donnie.
Trust me, that's a really small loincloth to fill, not just big shoes. It is great. Donnie was the Joseph of all Joseph, but I played the role for 5 years in many different companies.
That is incredible.
Dude,
music is my love language. And you know that.
Music is my love language.
Dude, your voice
also.
was so good in that show, man.
Thank you.
So amazing, powerful.
Thanks, Sean.
You grew up in the music career, in show business.
Yeah. It's the business of show.
But you started other businesses. So what was your ignition point to branch off from music, which is everything you grew up in, to start your own career doing other things?
I grew up in a very big family, large family. Didn't realize there was a business side to showbiz. So I learned the ropes of relationship building since I was 2 years old. Growing up on tour, performing in many different capacities and ways that you learn how to be in front of an audience in many ways. No matter the industry, whether it's showbiz or you're selling cars or you're going selling solar, like everything is about relationships and every opportunity is rooted in a relationship. And so when it comes to the business side, I was able to learn from the best for the good, the bad, the ugly. My family has had incredible success, incredible pitfalls. There were ways that they got into business with certain people that took incredible advantage of them, where they lost millions and millions of dollars because of people they trusted, the wrong people, and also making wrong decisions. Hopefully I don't repeat the past, but I learn, hopefully, from my predecessors, and I stand on the shoulders of giants. And in showbiz, you learn how to jump in like a three-ring circus from one to the next. You know, who's in front of you, what audience.
Let's stop you right at the when your family went through that painful time. How do you feel like, because your reputation and your family's so great, how did you climb your way out of that as a family?
Well, I wasn't necessarily around. I was just really kind of a kid growing up in this environment where a lot of the stuff had hit the wall as I was just coming into the family as a baby, so I had no idea. And there's actually a lot of stories from back then that I still don't understand and don't quite know, because there were a lot of moving parts and there was a lot of people and a lot of success, and then ultimately a lot of loss. I don't know the whole story, but I know that there were people that were ultimately trusted that should not have been. But I do know what I've learned about that, not knowing the nitty-gritty of how that happened. What I do see from my dad, from my uncles, from my aunt, is that they carried themselves and picked themselves back up and reinvented themselves, found better people, found better opportunities, and then protected themselves a little more to reinvent and keep going and grow again. So 60 plus years in showbiz is hard.
That's incredible.
And I know you talk a lot about the fire. You talked about reinventing and being resilient and taking that to just drive you into the next phase. So on a business,
a refiner's fire.
Yes, when I started to create my own LLCs and production companies and doing my own thing, then you learn the behind the stage, the behind the curtain, how to really make this happen. Learned a lot of tough lessons and still learning them through my own life.
Like what?
Music was taken away from me at a very young age. While I was down in LA, I was working with Brian McKnight. I was actually living in the guest house of Larry King, and I had all these fun opportunities musically happening for me. Almost overnight, it was gone because physically I couldn't do it anymore. And I was diagnosed with something that just changed my life. Dating my wife at the time, I quickly went into a wheelchair, believe it or not, and from the chest down, I was in a state of paralysis. Eyesight diminishing, hands stopped moving, and music, the thing I know how to do and the only thing I know how to do, is gone.
Wow.
I can't even care for myself, and I was diagnosed with something called MS, multiple sclerosis. And as my dad coined the phrase, I may have MS, but MS does not have me. My dad also has MS. So I saw someone that has this challenge, even though I have a different form of it, and it took me very aggressively. What you don't see right now, you talk about fire. I am on fire right now, physically. I'm burning everywhere in my body, from the chest down. I still have MS, but it doesn't have me. The fact that I'm able to move my legs again. There's a long story here that can't be compiled.
But you would never know. Just seeing you come in, how confident and how much energy you have, you would never know from the outside.
Like a new lease on life. You learn what you can't do anymore. I may not be in the position to be able to even walk a mile or run, let alone, but I drove a car over here. I know what I can do. And the things you still can do, all of a sudden have just augmented beyond what you ever had, and you appreciate them that much more. So having MS is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. It reinvented my life. And when I first was able to move my toes by myself when I wanted to, that feeling alone is something I wish I could gift to everybody, because it changes your life overnight. I've been walking again since my wedding day with my wife. I proposed to her from my wheelchair, to now have 3 beautiful children, to be as much of an active father as I can, and provider. I got everything to live for, and also realized that tomorrow is not a guarantee. And so you make hay while the sun shines, and you enjoy every moment. And so,
Appreciate the things you used to take for granted, simple things.
The Osmonds are known for smiling. I might be intrinsically like predisposed to it, but I have everything to be joyful about. And it's hard. Life is tough.
Appreciate you talking about how you feel right at this moment, because we spend a lot of time talking about past memories, but you're going through something as we speak. It's so
Right now,
powerful.
every second. And yet, I was just having this conversation over lunch with a good friend. As you look at your cards and you think, man, this hand that I was dealt, this sucks. You know, I'm going to play this hand because I know what the next guy's holding, and I don't want to change my hand for that. We all have a story. We all have something to contribute and share, and no one's getting out of here alive. And
No
it
one's
is
getting out of
truly
here unscathed.
finding the joy in the journey, and it sounds like a bumper sticker. But I have so much to be excited about. And honestly, too, the entrepreneurial side and the corporate. The position I'm in right now as president of Tribe House, to run TV shows and be hosting things, and also have my big band with Caleb, the Osmond Chapman Orchestra, to be on tour with my Aunt Marie, to do all these other things I've been able to still do. You learn to compartmentalize when you're in certain lanes. I've learned to say no a lot better these days than ever before, because I get distracted, and I try and just
Wanna do all
chew
the
on
things.
too much, and then you're just like, everything doesn't get done.
I love it that you said yes today. Because
Well, you walk in, I'll sit
literally
down
I
and
was
have a
meeting with David, and I was like, we had this opening. I'm like, dude, we have David Osmond coming in here. This is like so perfect. And I went up there, and he's like, hey, when do you want to do it? And I was like, now. And he's like, let's
do it.
Yeah, he didn't
Absolutely.
even
What were you
know
saying about the opportunity?
No, I met Barry Manilow while I was on
Yeah.
American Idol, and
Yeah.
he said something I'll never forget. He said, David, there is no secret to success. There really isn't. There's no luck. What it truly is, preparation meets opportunity. When that opportunity comes, are you prepared for it? Jump in. Go. Don't say no. Just go. Now, I'm learning to say no to the things that take, are distractions, because I want to be able to work smarter, not hard.
Yeah. And Tribe House is amazing. I've been to Tribe House many times.
Yeah.
It's the true art of connecting with people. And I feel like the greatest way to scale is scale relationships. And you've mastered that ability. There's not a lot of time on stage speaking. It's more of like really facilitating. You're an expert facilitator, making sure that those connections happen.
Dude, if you want to get to know Garth Brooks, become friends with his bus driver or his merch person. But no, don't do it because the ulterior motive, do it because people are genuinely worthwhile. They're intrinsically valuable, right? So build a relationship just because. And honestly, the reason why I got into these other corporate opportunities, even with Tribe House a few years ago, everything shut down. Entertainment was the least essential industry. I lost from March 1st, it was March 7th to New Year's Eve. I had a gig performing on TV or on stage every single day. It was going to be a crazy year. And it would build up to this. You put a ton of money and resources into pre-production shows. You know what that's like. It's crazy. And when everything just started canceling, chopping off, gone, you lose the bank, and all those eggs in one basket are gone. Wow. So there's no shows, there's no TV, there's no production, and you're just kind of sitting there dormant. I got invited to a Tribe House experience, and I walked in, and I'll be completely honest with you, my heart like sank into my shoes, because I walked in and went, oh, it's one of these things.
Right.
You know, we've all been to those.
Yeah.
And then I left there with my heart and my head spinning, because this was different. This was building genuine relationships, and not just what you do. Oh, you know who this is? It's who you are. And don't discount the person to your left that you think, oh, they're a plumber, I have nothing to do with them. And this is called relationship arrogance. Yeah. Turn that station off, not the WIFM, what's in it for me. That's a station you should always shut off. Build a relationship just because this guy's best friend is probably the secret to my business success.
Yeah.
I don't even know it.
I
And that's
that.
what I love about being part of the Tribe House community. Your community, everyone else, they're small Utah circles. There's a lot of Osmonds, but my family's a lot bigger than that because of those relationships. And so I encourage everybody, life is tough, but so are you. So you keep going, you keep pushing. Surround yourself with the people that lift you and raise you. You've read every self-help book out there, Just start living it. And surround yourself with the people that you know and you trust and you like, for crying out loud.
That was so good, especially your advice on how to connect with people. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. So it's an absolute honor to have you here.
Thanks, man.
And we need another show to follow up on both of these, the music that we've now committed to hear between Debbie and yourself.
Hit me with the first line.
Yeah.
Hit you.
Let's do Joseph, because that's my favorite movie.
Okay, so you want to do some Joseph.
Prologue.
I close my eyes
Drew back the curtain
to see for certain what I thought I knew. Far, far away,
someone was waiting.
but the world was sleeping. Any dream will do. We'll work on that and we'll get it right the next time.
On the fly.
Hit me with the best shot. Come on now. Hey, Sean, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
guys-
If any of you watching today have any doubts that your current CPA is not helping you take 100% advantage of the deductions you deserve and helping you stay compliant with the IRS, then don't hesitate to get involved with TaxSive today. You won't be disappointed.